Would you say you're addicted to money?
No.
Even the way your face changed, well, you have an issue.
I'm addicted to hustling, but not to money. And that's only because hustling allows me to dream.
If you're addicted to hustling, if the hustle didn't pay you, would you still hustle?
In one way or another, because I love to figure things out. I like to figure out how I'm gonna do things, and money gives me the time to figure out new hustles, whether it be for monetary things or for non-monetary things. There's a lot of things I do for people that don't give me money back, but I have enough time to do it, and that's because the way in which I hustle is, and if I don't do it directly with you, I can direct you to someone. The hustle puts me in that position. You know what I'm saying? So, what's good about the hustle is that the reward is financial.
I get you.
You know,
Okay.
if I was hustling from young, it was to figure out how I'm gonna have that to buy a specific thing. I wasn't in love with the money. I was in love with whatever I was gonna buy.
It's the
So the
purpose of
money
it.
is literally the tool. And if you have an ability to hustle, you have an ability to dream. When I was working, when I started 2014, I stopped. Well, after 1 year, I stopped dreaming. I could dream in my head. Before that time, I make $500,000 in a year. When I started working, I saw salary. Oh boy.
The difference between the mindset you have and the dreams you're able to visualize. Yeah. When you're hustling, maybe working for yourself essentially, generating your own income, whatever way that is, right? And when you're actually working and you're actually in the system, because I feel like, yeah, it's always good to have a job. Do you get what I'm saying? A steady income. It's almost like
wonderful to have a job.
responsibility.
It's wonderful.
I wouldn't say it's wonderful. I've worked my whole life, and this is why I said it's perfect touch on this. I've worked since I was 14 years old, right? No one told me to go get a job. It's just one thing I've always felt like I ain't want to. You know when you want to go cinema, go play with your boys. I don't want to. Mum, give me £20. As soon as I could find a way to, so I have more flexibility for myself. Just like what you were saying earlier, freedom. But I feel like when you get stuck in that system, and that's why I use words like stuck, right? There's barriers, and there's set barriers because it's wage capped. So for example, your 30K is your 30K a year, and it's not even the whole 30K, that's taxed. Your 50K is 50K a year, and it's not even your whole 50K, that's taxed. You can get overtime, you can get your little bonuses, but you know exactly what your money is that year, and you can actually calculate your income for the whole year. To an extent, because I'm talking for the people that, you know what I'm saying?
Agreed, but I'm
It's,
gonna speak
it's,
for them as well.
yeah, you give the flip
So,
side.
so
Go on.
with that, sorry to cut you, because I'm gonna lose what I'm gonna say. I never started hustling, and if I did, it was petty stuff until I can figure out how to get a job. Me and was trying to find a job in JD Sports. We was going all over. He obviously got all these GCSEs. I didn't get. I got two. I lied on mine though. I said I got all of them. And now we're trying to apply for a job. Work is, in actual fact, wonderful as far as people feeling safe and things being consistent. Now, the reality is, if I was working from the beginning and I didn't really hustle and make my own money, I wouldn't have all these imaginations in my mind of whatever. I would have been within a working system that, in actual fact, was safe, secure to a degree, and managing well, which is that my attractions wouldn't come to some of the things that I have because it wouldn't be within my imagination. And that's okay. Work is wonderful in that sense because what happens is that you build a lot of genuine and respectful relationships with people based on a common factor, which is work. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for someone like me, why work would always be a struggle is because I was able to make my own money. Then to go with making money based on someone paying me for me to clock certain hours, and you're not paying me what, in actual fact, I feel like I should be paid, but you are paying me what I deserve to be paid based on my qualification, was mentally frustrating for me. So if all I did was work from the beginning, I don't think I would see it as a trap because all I would have done is continue to elevate based on work. Do you get what I'm saying?
Which is what I was trying to explain. The point I was making was when you're working, it's a system.
Yeah.
So even if you're on 100 grand, right? You know what you're getting at the end of the year. It's 100 grand. That's capped 60% off or 50% off. You're gonna get 40 grand at the end of that year. Most people, like you said, it's very safe. It's very financially sound. You plan your year ahead. What I was tapping into was what you mentioned about dreaming, right? And it's the beauty of a lot of people don't actually have that awareness, and that's why I was trying to talk about it. Because if you can imagine the person that's grown up in a working class environment, from when they're 16, they go out get a job. That's all they know. I'm gonna make money off somebody paying me. I acquire a set of skills that someone's gonna pay me for and working in this system. Now, a flip side to that is you can look at boys that I went to college with, for example, they went to go do construction. Some of them went to go and be stockbrokers. Like straight away, they go and work in the financial system, right? And their dreams were so much bigger because they had an awareness of actually, I can be a consultancy person, or I can work in business in the private sector, right? And I think the point that I'm making is the hustle creates dreams for people. It gives people big ambitions, right? And I know, we live in times where people knock people, cutting corners and trying to, live this fast life. Do you get what I'm saying? But living this safe life also, and I'm not saying this is the case for everybody. It depends, each to their own. Some people are going to be workers, some people are going to create, right? But it creates a system, it creates a mentality, should I say, where you feel almost trapped. You feel stuck. We're going through what you call what's this time called now, where there's no money in the economy. What, I've lost the word. Yeah, the financial crisis, right? Where now everybody's saying they can't eat, they can't, feed themselves or whatever. Like, people are stuck because of jobs, because businesses are closing down, because the economy is fucked. Whereas if there was a lot more people that had the mindset of creation, which we are actually now moving into with the born of social media age, you'd have more ambitious people. And I'm saying, how was that for you with regards to tapping into the hustle and now working and then now having dreams where you can merge the two, where you're in a business space? Do you know what I'm saying? You're thinking about ideas that create for you. You're not thinking about just going to work and have a career. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Because equally, there are people that I've been in your position, hustled, transitioned, and gone, you know what, I'm old now. Let me just go and get a job. I've got my stack there. Let me just work. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So essentially, what I'm asking is, in your mind, how does that transition? How does that transition look like? Do you get what I'm saying for you, with regards to your dreams, your vision? Because there's young kids that will watch this and go, you know what, like that's how I feel. Like this job thing is a dead thing. It's a trap. And at the same time, well, yeah, the trap, the hustle it's life. Do you get what I'm saying? There has to be a balance here in terms of the mind. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Do you get what I'm trying to tap
I
into?
get what you're saying. So, for me, hustling was what I was forced into because I couldn't get the job. I wasn't getting employed. So we had no choice. Working was something I did with a plan. I just didn't know that it would take me as far as what it took me. And I didn't know that my heart would move away from the money side and more look to the love. So from understanding that, what I had to accept is that when you're deciding work, you have to look at two factors here. Am I doing this for the love of what it is I'm doing, or am I doing it for the money? Unfortunately, but fortunately for me, when I took the job, I took it to acquire pay slips to be able to then get into the other side of the world, which is property and all of that, to then make a career for myself. I didn't know that a particular group of kids, when I was working with them, a group of boys, that I would literally fall in love with them because they would remind me again of what it is to be a kid. What should have been 3 months, and I got my 3 months turned into, I'm now going 10 years. What do you want me to do? And every single year, there was a new set of kids that will come, which remind me of the ends. It reminds me of all the things that, in actual fact, I adore, I love. So you asked me before, and I said to you, I'm not in love with the money. I'm in love with what the money allows me to do. You see, I value the ends. I value my block, Maryland, Alma Street. I value where I come from. What I could never understand is why you don't allow me to do the things I love and value in peace. I began to understand it. I understood that in order for me to do the things I want to do, I have to do the things you want me to do. Society wants me to go and get a job. I got the job. Society wants me to finish secondary school. I finished secondary school. Society wants me to finish college or sixth form. I finished it. Society wants me to go and do a degree. I did a degree. When I say society, I'm talking about the agents of social control. Family, culture, religion, people. I've done everything you want me to do, which tells you I'm responsible. I'm a man. A good man. All the things that make me perfect. So that when I go back to the place that I love, my block, or the things I love to do, you can't turn around and tell me why are you there. I've done everything you've done. I'm still doing it. When can I be me? I've understood that in order for me to do the things I love, I have to do the things that I don't want to do. So for the people that are working, if your heart tells you you want to dream bigger, have a plan for when you're working. But recognize you're going to have to decide whether you're doing this for the love of the thing or you're doing it for the money. If you're doing it for the money, there's an expiration date. You'll get tired. You'll get worn out. You're going to do the job you don't like, but it's going to pay you what you need to pay to because the plan you have is bigger than the job they're doing. You're not looking at the obstacles in front of you. You're looking at the destination. So if I've got to do dustbin, I'll do it. I remember when I was working in the school and I was going, one or two guys, one in particular, was always laughing at me. I think he was selling a few drinks. I think he thought they had more money than me or whatever else. I don't know what he thought. He used to see me. And some of the girls that he was with, I remember, they used to come back to me and say, Gabz, they're laughing at you. What he didn't know is the girls he was trying to impress, I make them more money than he has to offer. But whatever, it didn't really matter to me. Because the most important thing for me was doing this job to acquire the things that I need to have so that I could eventually walk away from it. I just didn't know that my desire to make the money to do what I wanted to do was going to diminish because I fell in love with a group of boys. And not literally like that, but the fact that they responded so well to me, it just reminded me of school all over again. It reminded me of when I was a youth. Much like when I go to the ends and I give away like trainers or shoes or whatever else, I feel like it's almost like my heart was singing to this. And part of me, of course, the faith in me, maybe this is God's way of saying, if you do this well, I'm going to allow you to go to heaven. I know you're a bad youth. I know, yeah. You should be going to hell for some of the things you've done. But if you keep on doing this and you keep on doing well and you make this pure, your heart, I'm going to accept you in heaven. And that's the way I really took it. It's like, you know what? Because every time I want to leave, you offer me more money. Now, you know I love my money. But I don't love the money. I love what the money does. So naturally, I'm going to stay. But in actual fact, you don't realize that aside from the money, I'm actually loving, in actual fact, what I'm doing. So it's even hard for me to leave anyway. But again, all of the things that come with the hustle is that when you match the hustle with the working, you then realize that the most important thing I love to do is figure out how to make my own money. I actually get a kick out of being able to sit there and figure out how I can make my own money. So if I'm working in the school, I'm already planning how I'm going to capitalize on what I'm doing to do my own thing. That's the hustling. Whereas majority of people will sit there and just work and work and work. Each month, each day, each week, I'm sitting thinking, okay, so the government pays people to do this, to do that. And I do this naturally. Okay. So what, can I make a career out of just doing this? Okay. That's the hustling. The ability to figure out how to make your own money is what gets me excited. The reward, well, when the money comes, it's great. But the ability to use my brain to figure out how to make my own money is what gives me personal satisfaction, because for too long I've been dumb. School, I didn't pass well. Religion, I didn't understand well. Culture, I'm still... But you see what? You see this thing here? You see this block life, yeah? You see this, yeah? Man got A-star. I got A-star. I'm fucking good at this shit. But to tell someone on my CV I'm good at hustling is what? Is this guy crazy? To add value to the things I love, I must do the things that you want me to do to be able to do the things I want to do. So when you see me now with my Henny or whatever I'm drinking, and I've got my Chinese from Wingwa, and I'm on my block, you bought house, I bought house. You got degree, I got degree. You got college, I got college. Secondary school, I failed, but I passed again. We've both done it. You got engaged, I got engaged. You married, I divorced. I didn't get down the aisle. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. You've got experience, I've got experience. You've got sense, I've got sense. When you see me, you have business, I have businesses. Let me do what I want to do. I've understood the love of the thing and I've understood the money side of it. And I've combined the two to be able to satisfy and at the same time satisfy myself.
No, fair play. On that note, we'll leave it at that. Please don't forget, like, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. It's the most important thing. And we'll see you again every 2 days, 8 p.m.
We need you to subscribe and we need you to like because you add value to this thing. If you don't do it, they have no value. It has no value. So for Loso to take his time out of his life to do something that I don't think he wants to do, especially Lucas, we need it. Yeah? So by all means, help us out. If not, God bless you anyway. I see you at the top regardless.